Hi everyone, my name is London. I am one of the two hosts of Screenweens, and today I'm going to be talking more about Scooby-Doo. I just did a review of Velma that you can go check out, but long story short, I hated it, which was depressing because I love most things Scooby-Doo, and I just love Scooby-Doo in general. So today I thought, let's have some fun. Let's do a little something that won't make me want to cry. And we are going to do a tier list of all these Scooby-Doo movies. I had to make this tier list because every other tier list I saw was just missing a bunch of stuff. So we are going to do this from the earliest to the newest Scooby-Doo stuff. So let's just get rock and rolling. I'll do my brief thoughts on each one, and we're just going to rank them from cinema to great to good to fine to bad to so yeah, let's get started. The first Scooby-Doo movie that came out was in 1979, and it was Scooby-Doo Goes Hollywood, which is right here. And that one is fine. It doesn't make a lot of sense as a movie. It doesn't do a lot, but they're trying something. They don't really know what to do with the format of a movie. It's like less than an hour. It's more just like 2 episodes stringed together. It's fine. If it was made later, I probably would hate it more, but it's fine. Then we are going to get to the Red Shirt Shaggy era. 3 of these movies, the next 3 we're talking about, are all Red Shirt Shaggy, and it was before the big, 4 movies that everyone talks about. So these early movies, first one is the Boo Brothers, and I think it's kind of in between fine and good. I'll probably put it on good just because they're fun to watch, but it's not great. I do like Red Shirt Shaggy, though. 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo also has Red Shirt Shaggy. Next one after this was Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, if I can find where the fuck it is on here. Scooby-Doo. There it is. I actually think this movie's really bad. And you might all leave right now, but out of the 3 Red Shirt Shaggy ones, I think Ghoul School is really bad. Maybe it's because I didn't grow up watching it. Boo Brothers I saw maybe once as a child. Reluctant Werewolf I watched a lot. Ghoul School I never watched, but watching it for the first time I thought it was terrible. Which is sad, because I think the idea of it is really fun. Anyway, Reluctant Werewolf is also a fun idea, and I think it's on the cusp of being great. It's really fun and stupid and goofy. I haven't rewatched it in a while, so maybe if I rewatch it, I'd think it was bad, but it's dumb. It's like, ooh, we gotta drive cars to stop me from being a werewolf full time. It's because I think the other werewolf goes on vacation. Next up, we are almost to peak Scooby-Doo movie era, but first we gotta do a little road trip into Scooby-Doo and the Arabian Nights, which is barely a Scooby-Doo movie. Shaggy and Scooby are in it, but briefly, and it's really racist, and it's really poorly drawn, and it's just really bad. I think it's my second least favorite movie. Maybe first. I can't remember off the top of my head. But let's get into what is probably the first or second best Scooby-Doo movie, if I can find it, which is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Or is it Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island? Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, yeah. That movie is incredible. If you haven't seen it, it's astonishing how good it is for how short it is. I think it captures all the characters really well. It's legitimately scary, even by today's standards. It's fun, has some fun body horror. I like the designs of the monsters and the creatures. I didn't watch this growing up at all. So the first time I watched it was 2 or 3 years ago, and it was incredible. I loved it. Briefly, we'll do the Scooby-Doo Project, which was something they aired on television as a parody of the Blair Witch Project. And legitimately, it's really fun. It's really fun. It's stupid, but it's fun. And if I saw it as a kid, I'd be scared. I guarantee it. I'd shit my pants. Anyway, time for another hot take, because we are going to talk about Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which I think is good, but it's on the cusp of being fine. Hex Girls, fantastic. Love them. Love that song. Rest of the movie, it's fine. It works, but it's not great. You know what is great, though? You know what is fucking great? Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. I can't fucking find anything on this list. I could have just done this list. I could have just gone in this order, but why would I do that? I can't find it. There it is. It's great. No, it's on the cusp of being cinema. Scooby and Shaggy will always be my favorite characters, and they get so much to do in this movie, and I like the new characters. I love the look of the aliens, they look like they have broccoli for heads. It's amazing. I love the movie. I haven't rewatched it in a while, and I feel like I might rewatch it tonight. I love it so much. Cyber's Ghost, Cyber Chase, good, really good. Probably my second, I think Zombie Island, of course, is the best, then Alien Invaders, then probably Cyber Chase, and then Witch's Ghost. But Cyber Chase just has a fun monster, and some good humor to it. Another one that I haven't rewatched in a while, but I've been aching to. Another kind of weird one that a lot of people haven't seen because it was mostly just a TV special is Night of the Living Do, which was a parody of the new Scooby-Doo movies made about 30 years, because that was new Scooby-Doo movies was 1972. This came out in 2001, and it's fun. It's pretty good. It has Gary Coleman in it, and I think like David Cross, and it's really tongue-in-cheek and fun and vibrant. Unfortunately, right after it came out, the greatest movie of all time, Scooby-Doo 1, incredible. The best live-action adaptation of maybe anything ever. The perfect casting, so funny, and ridiculously rewatchable. I honestly think 20 years now, it's been 21 years, Scooby looks pretty good. Like, they put a lot of effort in, like, the CG for him. Pretty good. Also, just, like, incredible casting. I love that movie so much. Then we got The Legend of the Vampire. They tried to kind of recapture the original, like, big quadrilogy with a bunch of, like, globe-trotting adventures. I think it was Legend of the Vampire, Loch Ness Monster. What was the other one? It was Monster of Mexico. There's Aloha Scooby-Doo. There's Curse of the Mummy. There's Pirates Ahoy. They just get a bunch of stuff all around the globe, which I like that idea. Unfortunately, a lot of them just end up being pretty racist. Pretty racist. So, I'm going to put this at bad. I'm going to put this at Ruh-roh. Yeah. Ruh-roh. Monster of Mexico is the next one, and I'll probably put that at bad. A lot of these, they're either racist or just really forgettable, or maybe both. One of these has the Hex Girls in it, and I was like, what the fuck are they doing here? But they don't do a whole lot. Then I'm like, I wish we had just gotten a Hex Girls movie. But anyway, let's talk about Peak again, because it's time for Scooby-Doo 2. If I can find it. There it is. It's cinema. My partner loves this movie so much. She loves it more than the first movie. I'm on the other spectrum. I love it so much, but I prefer the first movie. But this one's awesome. It has an ensemble cast of monsters from like the original series, and it's so much fun to watch. And Seth Green's in it, and he's really fun in it. And it's got that epic confrontation at the end, where it's like, who do you think you are? And Scooby has his hubcap, and he's about to freeze the oil monster. He's like, Scooby, Dooby, Doo! And he does a kickflip and breaks the monster into a billion pieces. It's sick as hell. Let's go to Loch Ness Monster, which I think is good. Out of these, like, globe-trotting ones, it's one of the better ones. For sure, one of the better ones. Kind of on the cusp of being fine, but I'd put it at good. Let's do another, Ruh-roh one, because we're gonna talk about Aloha Scooby-Doo. Yeah, just really racist. If you don't know, I grew up in Hawaii. And yeah, I liked it a lot as a kid, and then rewatching it, I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah. Also, Where's My Mummy? That's going to be another Roro one. Kind of has potential to not be racist, but then they just doubled down on it. And it's also just kind of boring. How do you make a Scooby-Doo movie boring? Pirates Ahoy is the next one. We're almost done with these like globe-trotting ones. Pirates, how do I not see? There, he has a fucking hat on. It's bad. You know what? I'll put it in fine because it's got a good song. I remember the song in it. The rest is this was my favorite one. Chill Out Scooby-Doo was my favorite growing up. I don't know why it was my favorite Scooby-Doo movie because I rewatched it recently and I'm like, this is fun, but it's not great. It's fun though. Goblin King is fine, but I really want to like it. It's like really close to being really fun, and I like a lot of the humor in it, but it's really short for what it wants to do. Like, it feels like it wants to be this like big grandiose adventure. There's like a Goblin King, there's magic, there's like shape-shifting. It's really wild in comparison to like the other movies that were surrounding this era. But it just doesn't quite do it for me. But you know what we haven't seen in a while? A Ruh-Roh one, as in like 2 movies ago. So Samurai Sword. The poster has Shaggy's foot just like protruding out into your face, which is a little unnerving. But that movie's also really bad. And it's like, how do you make a movie bad when Scooby-Doo wields a sword to fight the enemy? I don't know, but they did it. Also, Ruh-Roh. The live action movies after the first 2, the made for TV ones, are all going to be in Ruh-Roh. They're all terrible. The Mystery Begins. I like Haley Kiyoko as Velma. I think that's actually like fun casting. I don't really like any of the other casting. Scooby looks atrocious and like it's like a jump scare anytime he's on screen. So yeah, that one's really bad. Don't like that one. Don't watch it. Abracadabra Do. I think I'm going to put it great. I think that movie's really fun. I really like the monsters in that. I really like the internal mystery. I like the side characters they bring in. And it's really refreshing in comparison to a lot of other stuff around it. And I feel the same way about the next one, which I'm probably also going to... It's on the... both of these are on the cusp of being good to great, but I'll just put in great. Camp Scare has a bunch of monsters. I really like like I said, the internal mystery of this one. It has like a town under an ocean. It reminds me, it takes a lot of like Cabin in the Woods style horror movies for this one. And those are some of my favorite horror movies. So I really ended up liking this one. And that's another one I watched a few times as a kid and really enjoyed. Next one is Curse of the Lake Monster. Just atrocious. Maybe, I think that's my lowest rated one on the Letterboxd. I also have a ranking list of all these movies if you want to see it. Yeah, it's awful. It's horrendous. I hate it. Don't talk to me. Legend of the Phantasaur. Thank God that movie's awesome. That's where the Ultra Instinct Shaggy meme comes from. And it's just really fun. I love when Shaggy gets to overcome his fears and stuff. It's really fun to watch. And I do like stories that are like, the courage was inside you all along. Yeah, it's cliche, but I think they're kind of delightful. I think they're kind of fun. Music of the Vampire is a musical, and all the singing is bad, but that's why I like it. I have this thing where I talk about it a lot, but my favorite musicals are when the singers are not professionally trained or necessarily great at singing, because it feels more homely. It feels like you can sing along and fit in really well. That's why one of my favorite musicals is Mamma Mia. So Music of the Vampire kind of feels the same way. The main story's not great, but it's a fun little adventure. So right around this time, I think this was maybe late 2000s, no, early 2010s, they started to release like 20 minutes kind of shorts. And I think these were on the DVD releases of certain things. I'm going to count them as movies because they weren't on anything else. They were released as their own like standalone products. So first up was Spooky Games, which is good. Yeah, it's good. It's like a good Scooby-Doo episode. It's pretty much just a standalone episode. Nothing like amazing about it, but it's fine. Haunted Holidays I want to like because I like spooky Christmas stuff. And I really love the poster of this one. But it's fine. It's really forgettable, if anything. Mask of the Blue Falcon. Kind of standard like meeting your hero stuff, and Shaggy and Scooby have to team up with Blue Falcon, who's like their favorite superhero. And I think he's being framed for something. It's good. It's good. You know what's not good? And it pains me. It pains me to say this, but what is it? I don't even fucking remember what this one's called. Some sort of map? Scooby-Doo Adventures, The Mystery Map, is a puppet one. The puppets are all bad. The story's bad. It's short, but it feels really long. It's just not fun. And I hated it. I hated that one. But I love puppets. I love puppets so much. Now here's one that nobody remembers, nobody like talks about, but I think is just incredible. Scooby-Doo. How am I not finding these? We're almost done. Stage fright is, I think, cinema. I love Phantom of the Opera-esque stuff, which is very funny because I have not seen Phantom of the Opera. But like Phantom of the Paradise is one of my favorite movies. I think Stage Fright is really funny. And I think it like flies by. It has a consistent pace and tone. And I think Fred's really funny in this movie. And Scooby and Shaggy are great. And everyone's just great in this. And it's delightful. And I think it's really underappreciated because most Scooby-Doo fans, like casual fans, have not seen that movie. And I think they should. Spooky Scarecrow is, I think, another one of the just random short ones. And I think that one's pretty good. It's pretty good. Well, now it's bad because I can't find the goddamn... oh, it's right there. I think it's good, though. It's just another, like, simple 20-minute episode that looks a little better than most of the episodes around that era. And it's fine. It's fun. I like it. Next one is also one of those 20-minute ones. It's Mecha Mutt Menace, and I think it's bad. Which is sad because I love robot dogs. But it just doesn't really appeal to me. I didn't really enjoy it. I thought, let's see. I'm going to pull up my list. Yes. I think now that I remember it. This was really forgettable, but there's like an incel in this movie and they don't really do anything with him that's interesting or fun. They just kind of introduce him and then don't give any of these ideas time to develop. I think Mecha Mutt Menace has potential to be like an interesting, like 70-minute movie, but it just doesn't ever get there because it's 20 minutes long. Next up, let's see. What are we at? Ooh, okay, we're going to get to some bad ones real quick. Let's do WrestleMania Mystery. This was the first of 2 WWE tie-ins, and it's bad. It's not as bad as you would think from that idea, but it's not great. There's a lot of wrestling jokes, and I don't think most kids would like find humor in them. I think Vince McMahon's probably in it, and I don't like him. He's probably in it. He likes to put himself in stuff. There is a soccer one. I think they're in Rio de Janeiro. And it's on the cusp of being rut-row, but I'll put it in bad. It's another like 20-minute one. This one looks really bad. I remember that. I remember that being my takeaway. I'm like, why did that look worse than the other ones? Let's do Franken Creepy, which is a Frankenstein one. I'm going to put it in great. It's good to great, but I can't stop getting the imagery of my head out of my head. In this one, the mystery machine explodes and, Fred has a meltdown over it, and he keeps getting like pretty much war flashbacks whenever he hears loud noises over the mystery machine exploding, and it's just great. Let's do Moon Monster Madness, which is also great. There's a xenomorph-esque alien on a space station that's stalking them. Yeah, that sounds amazing, right? And it is. It's really fun. I don't even want to say any more about it because I think you watch it. The best of the 20-minute ones was the Beach Beastie. It's so good. It's so funny. It's maybe the funniest thing on this list. I love it. It's not like as good as some of the things in cinema, but it's just got so many fucking good jokes in it. Kind of a creepy one. Scooby-Doo and Kiss is good. It's fun. It's stupid. They ride a spaceship that is a Kiss guitar, and they have superpowers. But also, Star Child wants to hook up with Daphne, who is a minor, and Star Child's like 1,000 years old. He's like a mummy. It's just kind of weird. Kind of a weird thing to put in the movie. Yeah, kind of left a bad taste in my mouth there. Anyway, the Lego movie, they did 3 Lego Scooby-Doo shorts. I think 3. Maybe 2. 3. But this one is Nighttime Terror, which is a remake of the first episode of Scooby-Doo ever to premiere. What a Night for a Night, I think. I think that's what it was called. That original episode is so good. I rewatched it recently and be like, oh, I'll rewatch this. It's really good. This is also pretty good. It's not great, but I like the Lego aesthetic in this. I think they use it for some good jokes here and there. And it's like another like 20-minute one. So it's a nice little reprieve. I think that one's only like 20 minutes. Yeah. Then they did a full movie, which was Lego Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood, which is fine. I think it outstays its welcome. I think it's a little too long, but it has some good jokes, and I like the aesthetic of Lego Scooby-Doo. I like the way he moves. It's fun. Let's talk about the other WWE one, which is Curse of the Speed Demon. Oh no, which is another racing one. So I was so excited to watch. I'm like, is this going to be like Reluctant Werewolf 2? And it's not. So just go watch Reluctant Werewolf. Shaggy's Showdown is the next one. It's good. There is a ghost of Shaggy's ancestor, I think, in this one. There's like a ghost cowboy. There's some good stuff in it. It just doesn't have, outside of the good stuff, it's kind of boring. It doesn't have as much going for it as you would want something that's called Shaggy's Showdown to have. But it's still fun. It's just unfortunately weaker than you would want it to be. The worst Scooby-Doo one is the second full-length one they did, which was Beach Blowout Bash, which is bad. It's mostly just forgettable. I don't remember the storyline of this one at all. Like, at all. But you know what's good? Scooby-Doo and Batman the Brave and the Bold. In fact, it's close. It's close to being great. I'll put it in good, though. It's really funny. It's really funny. I love Batman the Brave and the Bold. And this one, all the characters get costumes. The best of the, like, we're gonna be superheroes kind of thing. Yeah. Plus, I like Batman, so it's just like the best of both worlds. One of the worst of both worlds, another ruh-roh one, is Daphne and Velma. If you're gonna make a show or a movie without Scooby-Doo, I think the best idea is maybe a Daphne and Velma kind of like girl power movie. This one is just, it's made on a budget of like $6 and the acting is bad and the writing is bad. And it feels kind of like a slap in the face to people that enjoy either of these characters. Yeah, I didn't mind the idea of this one. It's just not great. Scooby-Doo and the Gourmet Ghost is another one that is bad. When I was first getting like in my resurgence of like wanting to watch more Scooby-Doo stuff again, when I first started my list where I'm like, I'm going to watch all the Scooby-Doo stuff. I think that was back in 2018. I was like, I'll watch the Gourmet Ghost. And it was bad. And I almost just stopped right there. I'm like, oof, do I want to continue? And I'm glad I did. It's just really bland. It's one of the newer ones, so they rely a lot on technology, and they're like, oh, they're using tech for the mystery, which I don't mind. But this one, they just didn't do it in a very interesting way, and I was like, that's kind of just dumb. But 2019 rolls around, we got a couple of bangers. Curse of the 13th Ghost. In Scooby-Doo, in the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, the show, it ended before they caught everything. So then almost 40 years later or something like that, they made an epilogue pretty much. They made the ending to it. And 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo is fun. It's kind of racist though, because there's Flim Flam, I think there's a little Asian child named Flim Flam. But he's in this one and he's better. They don't have Scrappy Doo in this one though, which I'm going to defend Scrappy Doo till the day I die. I think he's great. But this one's still really fun. I love Daphne in this one. She is in 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Velma and Fred are not in that show. And Daphne is pretty much the leader of the group. And in this one, she takes on the lead again. And Fred is like not sure what to do or how to cope with this. But it's really sweet how he ends up being like, you know what? I'll be your cheerleader. I'll be like the one to cheer you on. I'm proud of you. It's like really sweet. I love it. The whole movie's not great, but I really like most of it. Return to Zombie Island. A lot of people really don't like. I think it's good. I think it's funny. Kind of retcon some stuff from Zombie Island, but it's like, you can just watch Zombie Island. You don't need to be like, no, actually in the canon here, this doesn't make any sense. It's Scooby-Doo. I don't care. Right around this time, Zombie Island, Curse of the 13th Ghost, they were like, what if we just start tying in everything? Which I think is a ridiculously dumb idea, but kind of fun. Scoob is, I'm going to put in Ruh-Roh. I think Scoob in the Scooby-Doo lore is the same feeling I get from like The Rise of Skywalker. It takes a series or a franchise that I love so much and just kind of makes me sad about it. I think Scoob is really bad. I think Holiday Haunt could have been better, or whatever it was haunted. Whatever Scoob the Holiday one was going to be called before HBO scrapped it, which is a shitty move to do no matter how much I hate a movie. But yeah, I think Scoob's atrocious. We are almost there. We are going to do... Oh, I think I missed one. Where the fuck was... Yeah, I missed one. Where the fuck did I put Big Top? Yep, I missed Big Top. Big Top is... I think I put that at fine. Yeah, I'm going to put that at fine. They're at a circus, and it's fine. It's okay. Let's do Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo, which... is good. It's really overbloated. I think it has the Scarecrow, it has Bill Nye, and it has Elvira in it. And it's short, so it's really overbloated, but after Scoob, it felt like such a refresher to me, because it feels like Scooby-Doo. It just feels like maybe a not so great episode, but it's enjoyable enough, and I like the animation, and I wish it was just maybe Scarecrow, because I like the idea that just a random Batman villain shows up. And they have to just handle it themselves. Then there was Sword in the Scoob, which is very fun. But I'm still probably going to put it in good. They go to like an Arthurian legend. It's like an isekai. There's a dragon. swords and sorcery, and it's just like, that's my jam. I love swords and sorcery, and I love Scooby-Doo. Let's go. Then Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. Probably great. Really like that one. Courage and Scooby work so well together because they're both like scaredy cats and they both make weird noises. And yeah, that movie's really funny. I highly recommend that one from like the newer ones. I really like that one. Let's just put in one more Ruh-Roh before we go, because Scooby-Doo, Where Are You Now is like a meta pseudo documentary on like the people that play Scooby, and like they're real, but they're not. And on the studio, there's also like a real monster. It's just really bad, and it's bland, and it's boring, and I don't know why they made it. I would have just preferred like an hour-long actual documentary on Scooby-Doo. Like that would have been good. This was not. But Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo, which is the newest entry in the Scooby-Doo canon, is cinema, baby. It's one of the best Scooby-Doo movies I have seen. It is funny. It is a great homage to the original series. It's beautiful to look at. They make everything look like it was from the original series. And I loved it. And I watched it right after I watched the first 2 episodes of Velma, so it's pretty fresh in my head. And I had a blast. I really, really like that movie. So yeah, I think any of these that are good and up are worth watching. I would highly recommend pretty much all of those. Even some of the ones in Fine, I think are fun. They're just not great overall. But, you know, make up your own mind. Like the ones in Ruh-Roh you can probably skip, but you might like some of the ones in Bad and Up. But what's nice about Scooby-Doo is even the Ruh-Roh ones, it's like a comfortable feeling watching it. It's a nice bad, even when they're bad. It's like, Scooby-Doo. That's fun. I love Scooby-Doo. Even when it's like a shitty movie, I'm like, look at Scooby-Doo. Look at him go. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. I've been meaning to make it for a long time. I'm just kind of lazy. But I'm just going to start making a shit ton of Scooby-Doo content, maybe. Anyway, if you like the video, you can go watch our other Scooby-Doo stuff. You can watch our podcast. You can watch the Tallween Television, which is the videos I make by myself. But you can also subscribe or like this video or do whatever the fuck you want, because you're your own person, and I'm proud of you, and I love you. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video where I talk about Scooby-Doo. Maybe I'll talk about the Scooby-Doo comics. Maybe I'll talk about the Scooby-Doo snacks, the gummies. Remember those? Those are fucking good. Anyway, goodbye.